Hello, welcome to Simple. Today we are going to solve the day 11 of September LeetCode challenge. So today's problem name is maximum product subarray. So let's try to understand given problem statement first, then we will try to design one solution for the same. Okay, so what they are saying, we will be given one array of integers and we need to find the contiguous subarray within the array where my product will be maximum. Okay, so what that means, so if you see the given example, so this is our first example, right, where my array is 2, 3, minus 2 and 4, right? So if you check the array or if you scan the or traverse the array, you can see that if I multiply these two value, the first and second value, it will give me 6. Again we can do multiply, but that will be my negative minus 12. Again we can do multiply, that will be minus 48. So you can see that in this case our answer should be 6 because this is the maximum. Okay, so you can check other value also, right? You can start from here, that will be also negative value. You can do this also, right? So that will be also negative. Okay, so in this case our answer will be 6. Okay, for the first example our answer will be 6. Let's try to see the second example also. Here you can see that here our given array is minus 2, 0 and minus. So again if I do some multiplication between these two value, it will be 0, and we can do again it will be 0 only, right? But we can, in this case, since we need to consider the contiguous one, right? So we cannot pick the minus 2, this one or this one, right? So if you multiply this one, that will be 2, but we can't pick that because it's not a contiguous, right? So because in between we have 0, so it's not continuous. So in this case our answer will be 0 for case 2. So now let's try to check some other example also. Suppose if it is our given array, right, then what will be the contiguous sum, maximum product? So here you can see that I can start from here, and if I check this logic, so if I start from the 2, and if in this case the actual maximum product lies between this section, right? So it will be minus 2, minus 4, 8 and 24, right? And there can be other scenario also where there is no negative value, right? No negative or no 0 value, right? So in this case the contiguous sum will be obviously the multiplication of all the numbers, right, of the array. So again in this case it will be 2 into 3, 6, 6 into 4, 24, right? So these are the 4 scenario we need to consider while designing our solution, right? So how we can do that? So what we can do, we need to take one variable, right, where I can where you can store the multiplication, right, up to that number. So suppose I am starting from 2, so I will do multiplication with next number. I am going to store that in 6, right? Now I need another variable where I am going to keep tracking the maximum product I have found till now, right? So again I will do the multiplication. So suppose it's now 6, right? So my maximum is also 6 and current product is also 6, right? Now again I will move forward and I will multiply it to minus 2. So again I will see in this. So now again in this case I can see that my product or multiplication become minus 12, but in this case I am going to pick the maximum one, right? So earlier we already found 6. So using this we can, so if we are going to use this logic only to solve it in order of n, order in linear time, right, or order of n time. But we need to scan it twice, right? Because so in some scenario our actual sum or actual result will start from the initial position, like this one, right, initial to second position. But for some scenario it can lies between from a middle position to the last position, right? So basically we need to iterate through the array twice. Okay, so let's try to write the code for the same using Java. So what I will do, I am going to declare two variables. So one name will be probably product, and initially it will be 1, and another I can declare it as max. Okay, whatever we are going to return. So max will be initially we are going to take one minimum value, right, integer dot min val. So basically it will be a minimum number initially. Okay, now what I will do, I am going to run one for loop, right? So our for loop will start from initially we will scan from first to last, right? So it should be int I equals to 0, and then it will run till I nums dot length. Then we are going to do increment our I, right? So now after that we need to keep checking. So suppose I am here, right, for the first position. Now I need to check the product up to this number. So it will be initially it will be 1 into this number. So it should be product equals to product into current number, right, that is nums I. Okay, and after that I need to check the maximum value, right? So max should be we can use again math.max function in Java to get the maximum value between earlier maximum value and the product, right? So whatever is maximum, we are going to store that. But suppose we need to handle this kind of scenario also, right? So in between we can find 0, right? So if I multiply with 0, then it will be 0, right? So in that case, if it is 0, then again I will reset my product value to 1, because it can happen that it can start after that also, right? So what I will do, so once we are done with our maximum value, I will check if my product is equals to 0, then we are going to again reset it to 1, because we can't, there is no benefit of multiplying with, so it will be always 0, right? So again it will be product equals to 1. Okay, now what, so using this for loop, we can identify the maximum value where our actual numbers or elements will start from the first position, right? But in some other scenario it can start from the end also, right? So we need to consider those scenario. So this for loop is enough to handle this kind of solution where the actual product maximum sum is starting from the initial position, but in some other scenario it can start from the in between middle position, right? So to handle those scenario, we need another for loop. So again before that I am going to reset my product to 1, and now I will scan my array from the last to first. Okay, because we know that there can be some problems or test cases where the sum or where the maximum product lies between in between number to the last element, right? So again we will start one for loop from the end. Okay, so it should be int I equals to should be nums dot length -1. Again I will run till I greater than equals to 0, and here I am going to decrement my I value. Okay, so now we are going to follow the similar logic here. So it should be like this only, similar. So I will do the multiplication and I am going to take the maximum value. So I think this two for loop will handle all the scenarios, and now once we are done, we are going to return our max value. Okay, so I think that's pretty much. Let's quickly run our code and check whether it's accepted or not. Okay, I think it's compiling and giving us the expected answer for the first test case. Let's try to check for all other test cases. Okay, you can see that our solution is accepted. So let's try to analyze the code once again and try to analyze time and space complexity, right? So here we can see that we are running two for loop, but these two for loops are not nested, right? So in this case, our time complexity will be order of n, where n is our array length, not array size. Okay. And in case of space complexity, we are not using any extra space. That's depend on input. So again, we are using only two variable, but that is independent of our actual input array size, right? So whatever our array size, we are using only two variable only, right? So so in this case, we are solving it in constant space complexity, right? I think that's pretty much for this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.